Peace, fam. Bros, I want to know something. I want to know whether or not you've fallen for the trap. I want to know if you've been duped into believing that as long as you're a good dude, as long as you do the right thing, as long as you don't do nothing to screw nobody over, as long as you're an upstanding citizen, you'll find success. Have you fallen for the trap that says as long as you're a good guy, everything's going to be okay? The reason I call it a trap is because right now we are in the midst of probably the strangest time in American history. Just from having been involved with the stock market via day trading over the last 8-12 months, seeing the levels of manipulation that take place on a daily basis inside the futures markets, indices, gold, silver, oil, all of that, right? Seeing the manipulation daily is a sure sign that these are not normal times. Prices are higher, people are overworked, underpaid, and it seems like it's harder to get by. It seems as though it seems like the economy, right? Our living situations are intentionally being jacked up so that we can't survive, or so it would seem. But the thing about it is, if that is the case, and you are under the illusion that as long as you are a good dude, as long as you're doing the right thing, as long as you're getting up, going to work every day, as long as your family is your priority, as long as you're, making money and you're not screwing anybody over, as long as you're doing all those things, everything's going to be cool, right? You're going to make it. It's not the case. Right now, today, I was made aware of a family that lives near us that has to move out of their place. I think they said they're going to be out by Saturday. Standing in the dining room, you could tell they weren't ready to move. I'm not totally clear on the entire situation, but I'm praying for them. You feel me? But what I want to say in this video is this. We are not going to make it just by believing everything's going to be okay. Yes, it's a part of it, right? We have to have faith. But what are you doing? What are you doing to elevate yourself beyond just being a good guy? What are you doing to elevate yourself beyond just getting up, going to work every day? Beyond doing the bare minimum to survive? Because that's where it seems like the system wants to keep us. The system wants to keep us at a level just above barely surviving. We're not going to make it like that, yo. We're not. There has to be something more. We have to be something more. Because at the end of the day, who else are you going to count on? Yes, you have the Spirit of God living in you. You have the power of God operating through you. But who is coming to your aid if you don't get up and move? If you don't put your mind to work? Because that's really where the work is. Right? One of my favorite quotes, one of my favorite ideas, one of my favorite philosophies that I live by because I've seen the truth of it in my own living. It says that when you work for God, you're never unemployed. And that doesn't mean, we're going to have great retirement benefits when this life is over. Like, no, when you are moving according to how the Spirit is leading, you're taken care of. And that's what I want to make sure that you're leaning on, because relying on a job is getting tougher and tougher. You can't rely on the government. The government has never been effective at taking care of the people. You feel me? And plus, if they can feed you, they can starve you. So if you're leaning on the government for that type of support, oh, you're on a shaky leg, my friend. You are on shaky ground. Because it almost feels like at any moment, the entire rug can be ripped out from under this country. And if you're only relying on them for your sustenance, where else are you going to turn? I believe right now we have an amazing opportunity. Because the world is almost boiling over, it seems like there's this chaos that's boiling underneath the surface. It's the perfect opportunity to rise up and step into the calling that you feel the Spirit of God leading you into. This is the perfect right now moment for you to become and to be who it is God is calling you to be. Because I believe God created us to be way more than cogs in the machine. God created us to be way more than just pieces, pawns, a part of the system. Yes, there's no way to totally escape it. We're going to participate in some way, shape, or form. But are you doing it consciously? Are you maintaining your awareness as you're moving through daily life? Because that's what's most important. That's exactly what the machine wants. The machine, the matrix, the system, the elite, like whoever you believe is in charge of what's occurring here, right? They want your time, they want your attention, they want your energy. This is why getting up, working 8, 12, 16 hours a day, people are doing that and barely making it. At some point in time, we have to recognize something is broken. At some point, we have to recognize that what they told us is not the truth. Go to college, get a degree, get an education. Like that whole template, that whole idea has been dead for at least 25 years. A college degree has not been worth what we've paid for it in a long time. And I know I have one. I've not worked in the field. I graduated with my degree since 2013. But y'all, God is calling us to more. God is calling us to be more, and we have the perfect opportunity. We have to dig deep. We have to really get beyond what our lives look like. Because I remember when I was struggling. I remember when I was questioning how I was going to put food on the table. I remember when I didn't know how we were going to make it, having to look past the way things looked. I could not look at the circumstances because the circumstances were going to tell me a particular story. I had to go inside here and rest in here. I had to rest in that still place where God resides. That still place where truth is always speaking. Because looking out, there's lack, there's not enough, there's stress, there's drama. Inside there's peace. Inside there's abundance. And living and moving from that space is really where we need to be. Right? Neville Goddard talked about ignore your senses. Ignore the world of your sensory perception. It is not telling you the truth of who you are, and it's not telling you the truth of your life. All the circumstances of your life are telling you is decisions you've made previously. Ways of being that you have embodied previously. And the results are just now manifesting in form. You can start right now. I don't care how much money you have in the bank. I don't care if there's a foreclosure notice on your door. I don't care if they done booted your vehicle and they're coming to get it tomorrow. You can change your entire trajectory right now with a decision. That decision is determining, and shout out to my man Soul for this, determining what world you're going to respond to. Are you going to respond to the world where it says lack, limitation, not enough? Or are you going to respond to the world that says that you're able, that you're capable, that you possess a power and a gift that the world is waiting to receive? I get it. When you're in struggle mode, when you're in survival mode, the toughest thing to do is create. I get it, right? And it's just like playing Minecraft. I use this example all the time. In survival mode, you have all the mobs after you, zombies, skeletons firing, bow and arrows from across the way. You out here trying to build a house, at nighttime, and you can't because you got all these mobs attacking you. It's the same thing in life, right? In survival mode, you are facing what feels like attacks from all sides. So how are you going to create? How are you going to live? How are you going to build when you're just trying to catch your next breath? You're just trying to catch a breath. You're trying to catch a break. You're trying to catch a nap. You can't even barely do that because you got to work 2 and 3 jobs. Yo, I recognized this long ago, back when I was on the PD, before I retired. Like, now I have conversations with the guys I work with. I would say, like, this equation that we have of trading our hours for our dollars, our life for our money, is the most horrible equation on the planet. And wouldn't you know that there are people making millions of dollars a day? No, millions of dollars a day. And they don't lift a finger. They don't break a sweat. I'm out here recording this video now, sweating. And somebody out there today made $10,000 and all they did was wake up, press a couple buttons on their mouse, close their computer, and they've been sitting on the beach for the last 6 hours, sipping Mai Tais, chilling, right? How do we get there? Because you don't need to do anything illegal. You don't need to cheat anyone. You don't need to be immoral, right? What is it? I believe that key, and this is what I think the secret was in Think and Grow Rich that Napoleon Hill had wrote about, right? That secret that he talked about in the book, I believe essentially is service. And we all have something that we can give. We all have something to bring to the world that will take us out of our current situation if we implement it. How do I know? Because when you work for God, you're never unemployed, and God takes care of his people. You can take that to the bank. God ain't gonna let you go hungry. You know what the words say? I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor their seed begging bread, right? Who are the righteous? Those who are aligned rightly, those who are thinking rightly, those who are moving in accordance with how the Spirit of God has called them to move rightly, right? The righteous, those who are in accordance with the will and Spirit of God. So, like I say, I don't know where you are right now. I don't know what circumstances and situations you're facing, but I do know this. If you're breathing, you have the Creator in you. If you're breathing, there's so much more waiting for you. You essentially just have to get up and go get it. Call it in, right? What is it you want to see? I talk about it all the time. Just like God did back in Genesis 1. Looked out over a formless and void world and said, let there be. It was pure chaos. And God said, I want to see some light. I want to see some land. Let's go ahead and separate these waters, right? We're gonna, these are going to be the seas. This is going to be the heavens. Hung the stars and the moons in the sky, right? None of it was there before. God said, let there be, and sprung into action. It's really as simple as that. You can look at life and focus on what it looks like you don't have. And every single time you're going to get more of what you don't have. Not that you're going to have more of it, but you're going to have more opportunity to recognize, oh, S word, I ain't got it. But you can also use your free will differently and say, you know what? I may not have all I want, but I'm grateful for what I do have. I'm grateful for what's here. I'm thankful for all $15 inside of my checking account right now. Right? I'm thankful for the quarter tank of gas I got. It's going to get me to the gas station after I get my check in a day or two. We always have that choice. And life is always responding to our perception and our description of it. Inside of reality transurfing, there's this idea that the author talks about. It says that every day the world that we live in wakes up and it asks us a riddle. And that riddle is, what do I look like? What do you see? And whatever we say is what's going to come to form. Again, if we see lack, if we see not enough, if we see difficulty, if we see stress, that's what the world shapes itself into. I don't know how it works. I just know that it does. Ask me how I know. Because I've been reading these principles. I've been living these principles. I've been talking and teaching these principles for years. Right? And again, I said in a couple of videos ago, it's these ideas, right, around my whole philosophy of creatorship that has kept me, along with the grace of God, It has kept me in my right mind, and it has kept me going since one of the most catastrophic events a man can face, right, in the loss of my wife. So one thing I want to do, and I haven't mentioned it before, but right now in the description, one-on-ones are open. Go ahead, schedule your time. Let's get it on the calendar. Let's break your life down. Let's look at what you got going on and find out how it is that you're going to make this come up, because you're not stuck. You're not stuck. You can create. You are creating. It's just a matter of how you've been using your tools. So go ahead, book your one-on-one consultation, and we'll unpack that, and we'll get you going in the right direction. All right? I don't want y'all to get out here and stress, because all stress is going to do is create more worry. It's going to raise your cortisol levels. You're going to probably check out of here 10 years sooner than you were probably meant to. I want all my brothers, I want all my family to thrive, because you're all capable. We are all capable. God has given us so much. And for some of us, it's as simple as flipping on this phone and the camera and talking. So, yeah, man, wherever you are, no matter what you got going on, I'm praying for you. I love y'all. And I want you to know that you can push through it. You can create in the midst of the chaos. That's what you were created to do. You are a creator, created in the image of the Creator. And you're always creating. So, I mean, it's your call. What's it going to be?